Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Marcel, and in today's video I will share with you a pathway that is designed by my company for international students that are currently stranded in Ukraine, former students, international students in international English-speaking programs in the Ukraine, whether it's medicine or any other discipline, that are currently in their home countries, hopefully, and now waiting for their next step, thinking about what they should do, what pathway, what alternative way is possible, and how to pursue their career and their dreams. So a brief introduction into to myself. My name is Marcel Akdenisli. I'm a dentist from Germany, and like international students in the Ukraine, I also studied abroad. So I'm originally from Germany, but I studied in Sofia in Bulgaria, in the capital of Bulgaria, in English. It's a English-speaking program. I was one of the first German students to go there. I have a big YouTube channel in the German language, Marcel in Bulgarian, and there I documented my pathway from my first year to my last year and finally to my life here in Germany now as a dentist. And I helped over 240 students to successfully make the step to Bulgaria. And I have a company, Consulting Med, where I help international students, German students, to go abroad, study medicine abroad in Slovakia, Bulgaria, Romania, and also Serbia and Macedonia. And what I want to tell you now in this video is what opportunities international students have that have studied in the Ukraine, what transfer opportunities and what further career opportunities. Since the beginning of the war, I've helped a lot of international students that studied in the Ukraine to pursue an alternative pathway and to continue their studies in another country. And one of the best countries for that reason is Serbia. So a very common pathway that I help a lot of students with at the moment, transfer students from Ukraine in the field of medicine, is to go to Serbia. Serbia has a West Balkan contract with Germany, and for that reason, they oriented their healthcare and education system, general education system, a lot towards Germany. For Serbians, it's very easy to go to Germany. They don't need a visa to come to Germany, and that's a reason why they've built a lot of educational schools and universities that are directed towards the German pathway. So their education system in most of the universities in Serbia or even private schools is fulfilling the minimum requirements of the European Union, and that's why it's very easy for them to go to Germany. And in Germany, at the moment, we have a huge labor shortage that is increasing every day and every year. So it's getting harder and harder to find enough people. And at the moment, if I go to a restaurant, I live in Marburg, close to Frankfurt, the food can take up to 1 hour because there are not enough chefs. If you go to a hospital, people are dying every day because there are not enough doctors. So the situation is harder and harder, and we need more people here. And that's what I do with my company. I help international healthcare professionals to successfully migrate to Germany. I also have a newer part in the company that helps IT specialists to come to Germany. And what I also do is help Germans to study medicine abroad, then come back, help internationals to study medicine abroad, then come as international doctors, healthcare professionals to Germany. So if you're at the moment in that situation that you don't know where to study or where to continue your studies, you can hit me up with a message. I have my contact information right here below this video. Also a link where you can book a free orientation consultation, and then we can discuss what the best solution for you is. And for many of you guys out there, the best solution is to continue your studies, whether it's medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, or another field. If it's another field, we have to check individually what possible pathways exist. To go to Serbia to continue their studies, and I can make that happen. So all I need is your transcript of records, some other documents, and if you don't have them yet, I can even help you how to get it. I have a lot of experience with Ukrainian universities. You hit me up with a message, we discuss this, and then we make that step to Serbia happen. And after your studies, and sometimes that's only 1 year left or 2 years left, we have an English speaking program that prepares for the German language. As a professional German teacher, she teaches 4 days a week, and the program goes 1 year. You take your exams, German exams in one exam, the B2 German General Language exam in Belgrade, in the capital, at Goethe Institute, and then there's an additional exam in Germany that is your professional terminology exam, FSP exam for doctors specifically, and then you're free to work in Germany, and we make a very time efficient transfer. So I connect you with one of our partner hospitals and you are able to transfer just in time, so you don't lose any of the valuable time. The salary for doctors specifically is very good, 60 to 70,000 euros in your first year. Please keep in mind there's also a lot of hours connected to that salary, but the minimum salary that you can receive is 4,800 euros for 40 hours. So that's legally protected salary, so you can't fall under that line. So the minimum you will get with that is the salary, but I've never had any case where that's happening, because they will require you to work extra hours, weekends, and with that kind of extra hours that are paid better, and the weekends are paid better, the night shifts are paid better, you end up with minimum 60,000 euros in your first year, which is quite a lot, even compared to the United States. If you compare it to the GDP, it's the best salary for doctors at the moment in the world, compared to the GDP, so the economic income of other people in the country. So the tuition fees in Serbia for the English-speaking programs are relatively low compared to other European Union countries. So it's in the European Union, it's much cheaper. Serbia is not in the European Union. However, the degrees are recognized, especially in the field of medicine, where the recognition is sometimes a bit difficult. Serbia is a great place. That's why I also put a lot of German students there. And if you follow my channel, Marcel Marburg, you will see a lot of interviews with German students that study in Niš, study in Serbia, one of the universities I work with. And the great thing about the pathway to Serbia is that I have a colleague there. She takes care of all the needs from accommodation to health insurance, visa. Everything is going to be done there, so you will not be alone. We have a great community of international students there, of German students, of Indian students, of students from African countries, from Morocco. And these students, especially in Nice, are very happy. The lifestyle in the city is great. The living costs are at about the same than Ukraine, maybe a little bit more expensive, but not a big difference. And the tuition fees are more expensive than the Ukraine. For example, in medicine, in Niš, it's 5,500 euros a year. However, it's still the best opportunity out there, because the transfer is possible. The total costs are manageable compared to what you paid in the Ukraine, and there's a clear pathway to Germany. All my students that come with me, that I help to study in Niš and that are successfully admitted, they are free to join my program. The program is specifically designed for international healthcare professionals. So for those who have already graduated, doctors, dentists, pharmacists, a lot of pharmacists. I'm bringing next year around 32 pharmacists to Germany from Kosovo and Serbia alone. So, but it's also, I allow all the international students that come with me to Serbia or to another country, I allow them to sit the preparatory year for free in German. So you will not only have the opportunity to come to Serbia, finish your degree, you will also have a clear pathway without any knowledge tests, so without to take any medical exam, just with the two language exams. You have a clear pathway with 2 language exams to come to Germany, which is the optimum outcome and much better than what you would have in the Ukraine, because in the Ukraine you would have to do the knowledge test. In Serbia you don't. So there's a clear pathway, and for that reason many international students from India, from other countries at the moment join to come to Serbia with my company. And then after some years, after they graduated, in the last year of their school, they take the German courses that go for 1 year, they sit the exam, and then they come to Germany. So I have some questions here in the comments. Yeah, feel free to write me your questions. At the moment, it's a live interview, so I'm going to answer them, of course. is there any official hostel accommodation in University of Niš for Faculty of Medicine? So we've talked about this with the university. So the law says that the student housing, the accommodation is only available for Serbian students because it's a social program and they have to protect their Serbian students. They can't afford anything else. I see this with, it has a positive and a negative note. So of course, this would most probably be the cheapest option. It's the same in Sofia. The accommodation can be 80 leva, 20 leva. So where I studied, the international housing was super cheap. However, the living situation was terrible. It's the same in Serbia. So it's not a bad thing that it's not allowed for you to guys go there, because I really don't like it. But there are cheap options. If you're 3-4 students, or even if you're alone, I can connect you with some students in the community. If you're from India, I will put you together with the Indian students. We have a group specifically for Indian students, a WhatsApp group of my clients, and they will form groups, the girls, the guys, and they will get an apartment together. My Serbian partner, she's very experienced in this field. She works with a real estate agent, and we will find you an apartment that suits your costs. And then you will split it, maybe 4 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and you will end up with very affordable prices. So you don't have to worry about that. For every price, we will find something. So in Serbia, it's not a rich country. Many people live very modest, so you don't need to worry about that. However, at the same time, if you have a great lifestyle, it's also possible, and we will find you very nice apartments that are for one person or however you would like that. But student housing is only available to Serbian students. The next question, can you tell me the benefits of doing medicine in Niš and doing my residency in Germany? So about the residency in Germany, it's such a big topic. I think it's time for another video. Let me start with the benefits of studying medicine in Niš. So medicine is a great country, great study field in Niš, because, or let me frame it differently. The reason why I chose to work with the University of Niš is that first of all, I really like the city. So Serbia is an up-and-coming country with a economy that is getting stronger. It's about to enter the European Union, so it's orientating towards the West, and the situation in the economy is very attractive. I got to know during my studies a lot of business owners that from the United States that prefer to live there, and they say this is the worldwide one of the best countries when it comes to price and what you get in life, like what services you get. And that's why it came to my attention. And Niš is relatively close to Sofia, Bulgaria. So I came to the city, I checked it out, and I really liked it. It's very livable city. It's a big student city. So third biggest city in Serbia, a huge university. So you would study medicine at the University of Niš Faculty of Medicine, and that's the University of Niš is really big. So there are a lot of students. The lifestyle is great. So they have a lot of festivals, or a lot of cultural activities, and you can just have an amazing life, but relatively cheap costs. And for me, Niš is one of a kind. The university is great, the people are motivated, and the students that I sent there are very happy. So that's the reason why I chose to work with Niš. From the lifestyle perspective, from the livability, I think it's just a great place. And the other part is that the curriculum is just like the European Union curriculum. So they're oriented towards the German curriculum. If you're interested, I will send you the curriculum. I have made a brochure that I will send you if you contact me on WhatsApp, or if you book on a free orientation consultation. And then we can you can check that out. And well, that's one of the main reasons. The curriculum is adopted, the degree is recognized internationally, and the style or the lifestyle of the city is really nice. The costs are cheap, but the standard of living is high, and price to worth, or price to what you get, is great. So next question. Can you help with accommodation only if we already have admission? So I don't think that you will get admission without any professional help. So I don't think that this question needs to be answered. What is the official document or official agreement has with Germany in medicine with Serbia? What is the official document or official agreement has with Germany in medicine with Serbia? So the degree is recognized in Germany. Probably that's what you mean. The reason why it's recognized is because the curriculum is exactly the same. Then it fulfills the minimum standards of the European Union. So the European Union came up 2013 and said, hey, if you want the degree of all European Union countries in medicine should look like the following. It should have 6 years minimum duration for medicine, 5 years minimum of duration of dentistry. It should have those subjects, and it should have this and that. It should have those internships and so on. So all the countries that fulfill the minimum requirements will be recognized without any additional exam. So the European Union countries, they were forced to adopt to that curriculum. Of course, other countries are not forced to do that, so only very few did that. One of the countries that did that is Serbia and the University of Niš and Novi Sad. So, next question, but is that only for EU students or not for non-EU students? No, that doesn't play any role. So whether you're like the Serbian doctors that I help to work in Germany, there's no difference in the procedure. Like if you're a German student, or if you're a Serbian student, or if you're an Indian student, there's absolutely no different procedure in the recognition of your diploma. I do that every day. So absolutely no difference. There's just a different formula that you fill in, and the visa is a different situation. The Serbian students, they don't need visa. The German students, they don't need visa. If you're from India, obviously you will need a visa. You will get the visa by showing proof that you have a job offer pending. To get a job offer is very easy. From the hospital, like that's what I do. I work with hospitals. They need doctors. They pay me money to bring them doctors because we have a huge labor shortage. So I will get you a job interview. You will sit the job interview, and if you speak German, you've passed your exams. The rest can be done. So the process looks like this. You need to pass 2 language exams. There are many, in some German hospitals, if you go a little bit to the countryside, there will only be international doctors and very few German doctors at the moment, because we don't have enough doctors, and the state of Germany doesn't want to finance all these huge amounts because one study a seat in the university for medicine is 250,000 euros. So the government says, no, we don't have that money. And now we don't have enough doctors, and the problem is getting bigger and bigger. So every year, bigger demand. And the pathway looks like this. 2 exams you need to pass. One general language exam, it's called B2, a general German language exam that can be passed in Belgrade. You go to Belgrade, register at the Goethe Institute, you pass that exam. Then you hand me in the certificate. Then the next task is to go to Germany to write a Fachsprachprüfung, the German terminology exam, and then you take that. In order to write it, you already need to have a job offer pending. So that's why we will arrange an online job interview. You will meet the human research department in the hospital or the chief physician. He will hire you. Of course, it's only on probation, let's say. It's only for 2 months, where they theoretically could still, after 2 months, they could still throw you out, let's say. But in my experience, that never happens. They have also some contracts where it's 5 months, but they have such a huge shortage of doctors that at the moment, this is not happening at all to doctors. So, and then you could still go to another hospital. So you take the job offer, and then you go to Germany, you write your medical terminology exam. And after you've written that, then you will get a provisional license to practice in Germany. And then some months later, you will get the official license, the Approbation, to fully work independently in Germany. So that's the pathway that you can pursue. Maybe a little bit about the residency program. I know that I think in India, I'm not sure about India, but I think in India, the system is relatively comparable to the UK. I think, and in the UK, the specialization is very advanced, let's say. So the doctors have to go like to university, they have to sit tests and so on. In Germany, that's completely different. You don't have that elaborate educational system for specialization. What you do is you work in a specific department, for example, gynecology, and then you have a checklist, let's say, a curriculum. You need to have seen that operation. You have to have worked on that place for 3 months. Then you have to have seen that. You have to have worked on that station in surgery and so on. You click, like whenever you check a task, you go to the chief physician, he signs you off, and after 5 years you should have completed everything, and then you go to take an oral exam where they like give you a case in your like gynecological case, let's say, if you're gonna be a gynecologist, and then they say, okay, we have this case, make a diagnosis, what's the treatment, and so on. They ask you these specific questions. After that oral exam, that's over and you are a specialist. So it's not a lot of elaborate, let's say, education, and you need to self-educate yourself a lot. And at the same time, basically what you do is just you work in the hospital for 5 years, and after that you're a specialist. You can start your own practice, and I also help internationals with that, with a finance specialist for healthcare professionals. And I can already tell you that getting a loan for buying your own practice or building a new one is absolutely no problem. So at least as soon as you have the German approbation, so the full medical license, which you will have by then, it takes a couple of months after you start in Germany. As soon as you have that, you're free to get a full loan up to 500, 400,000 euros. So you don't even need to have your own money to start a new practice. Obviously, after 5 years of work in the hospital, you will have saved some money. You can pay some upfront fee, and the rest does the bank. For the bank, the doctors are the most loved customers because they statistically never fail to pay their fees back. And a medical practice business is the most resilient business out there. The only reasons that the finance specialist that I work with told me why doctors can't succeed in that business is when they get drug addicted, alcoholic, or depressed. Well, these are the only risks, and for that there is insurance. So no problem regarding that. And that's great. In many countries, it's absolutely not possible to open your own practice relatively fast. In Germany, it is. And then the money is really good. So far about that. For many students, they ask me, how is it? Is there like a two-class system like in Dubai? So international doctors, they earn less or something like that. That's prohibited by law. You will get the same money. Of course, there are certain things that are harder for internationals. So to become a chief physician as an international doctor, you really need to be much better than a German doctor. That's my opinion. Like, they would always, like, if you're a German doctor and you work in a hospital and you want to become this chief physician, working 80 hours all your life, and that's your dream, it's very hard for international doctors because the Germans will always have it easier. They speak the native language, they have a better contact with the patient. And I would say that's harder. But to work in the hospital, to do your residency, to open your own practice, absolutely no problem. No problem at all. And also to become a leading physician, also not a problem. Just the chief physician positions, I would say that's a bit harder as a foreigner, and you would need to be like outstandingly good and better probably than the Germans. So that's my personal opinion. But there are no other negative parts. So the salary, you will not get €1 less than a German doctor. Absolutely sure. Like, that would be illegal. And if you even have it's not even illegal to pay below the minimum standard. So we have this word, it's called tarif. I'm not sure. Like, we have these unions, and they established these legally protected salaries for doctors, dentists. For dentists, it doesn't. It's different, but for hospital working doctors, that's legally protected. So for your residency, you don't need to worry about that. So the other questions, but that is only for EU students. Okay, that we answered. Is transfer possible from Ukraine in the same year? Well, I can't, I'm not sure what you mean, but generally how it works is that we get what you have successfully, like the year you successfully passed, that we can get recognized. We can additionally get a single, like, for example, you studied 3 years and a half, then we can put you in 4th year, and the exams you did, you don't need to repeat them. But obviously we can't like get you in the middle of the semester. However, there are exceptions, because right when the war started, we have been able to place students in the middle of the year. So we would need to discuss that individually with the university, and you would need to contact me, and we would check your transcript with the university and discuss that with them. Because I bring a lot of students to the universities in Niche from Germany, which is very popular, they have a very good contact with me, and they're very happy to work with me. What are the future possibilities after studying from University of Niche? So there are three possibilities. If you contact me, I will send you a brochure, and there are cases of three pathways. United States, you have to take USMLE at the American Embassy twice. Then you have the UK pathway, and you have the German pathway. I can't help you. Like, there are groups I can connect you with to prepare for USMLE and UK, but I can't help you with that. I'm also not an expert of that. I have no idea about this pathway. I know that it's possible, and I can show you some curriculum of doctors who studied in Niche, and now they work in America, or they work in the UK, and you can Google them. But I can directly help you with Germany. And Germany has the advantage that you only need to learn the language, and then the rest is without any additional exams. Like, you don't need to pass any medical knowledge tests. Without that, it's recognized. And for that reason, I can really recommend it. I could also recommend you for any other reasons, because the salary is the same compared to GDP. It's better, and the conditions are probably much better. We have a social welfare state, so if you want to have a family in your life, probably United States can be very hard. Even like United States is a doctor for entrepreneurs, for company owners, or for investors, or for people who start a company. That's the best place in the world. For doctors, it's not really the best place in the world, because they simply don't make enough money to get to those millions that you need to have the lifestyle that you would have in Germany. So if I would live I live in Germany, I can afford what a person with 10 million can afford in the United States, and I probably can afford more. What do I mean with that? What do I do when I get sued in Germany as a doctor? Well, my insurance covers everything. I don't need to worry about anything, and the hospital protects me. What do I do when I'm in the United States? Well, if I have my own practice here in Germany, I'm covered by the law, and when the law says I did something wrong, then what they do is they charge me a fee, and that's maybe 1,000 euros, 5,000 euros, 10,000 euros maximum. In the United States, you can get sued for millions. So that's one point. The legal system is very unfair. You need to be super rich, have multiple, I heard an estimation, $30 million to get the legal protection that you would need and that you would have for free in Germany. So the next thing is the healthcare system. If your insurance doesn't cover specific things like giving birth to a child, then the fee in the United States can be $500,000 or $250,000, depending on what the surgery is, what the procedure is. And that's very difficult. And the healthcare insurances that charge 800 euros per month, they cover nothing. So what about education of your children? In Germany, it's for free. People go to university for free, and they're some of the best universities in the world. The standard of education is much better generally than in the United States. Okay, you have those elite universities in the United States, but they're expensive. What about private school? If you send your kid to a public school in the United States, ouch. Probably that child will have a very difficult life, and the risk of getting shot are also not to be underestimated. So I'm not a huge fan of doctors going to the United States. I think it's a beautiful country, a wonderful country. And if I ever would have that money to go there and be on those like standards where it benefits me, I would go, and I can recommend anyone else to go. But for doctors, hell no, I would never recommend that. UK is much better. UK is an interesting pathway that you can look into if you're interested in that. The UK also doesn't have any social system anymore, but doctors would still have a good life there. I would say the healthcare system in the UK is very difficult, so there's a lot of frustration. However, in Germany, also healthcare system is not perfect. So The only problem is that you need to, by now, be one of the best to go to the UK. So you need to be really good. In Germany, we have a huge lack of doctors. It's not like the UK because we don't have that Commonwealth states, and we also have our German language, which is not spoken by so many people. So the pathway is much easier. It's the only plannable pathway that works for everyone, except if like you need to learn German. But for doctors, usually learning a language is not very hard, especially when you study already in English. For most of you guys, it will be already your second language. The pathway to learn German, it will be done within your last year or your second last year. Maybe you attend our preparatory program 2 years, maybe 1 year, and then you've done it. Like the normal pathway is 1 year. What are the future possibilities after studying at the University of Nice? Well, 3 options: UK, United States, or Germany, or you go to your home country. But I would never like some people tell me, I'm from India, want to work in India. Okay, maybe if you inherit a hospital from your parents, that's a good idea. But in other ways, I would not like. It's not very wise to go to a private university in Europe, spend tens of thousands of euros, maybe 60, 70,000 of euros or 100,000 euros, and then go back to India. Only if you have a very prosperous career opportunity there, then probably it's the best you can do, right? If you're going to be the manager of the big hospital chain in India, that's much better than starting as a small doctor in Germany. However, generally, I think for most of the students, it makes most sense to come to Germany, or if they're very hardworking and they have perfect results in their academic education, and if they very acquainted with the test and study very well for those tests, the UK might also be a great option. Like, don't get me wrong, but no matter which way you choose, I can help you to move to Serbia. And if you say, hey, I want to go to Germany, like most of the students do, then I can get you there. So no further questions. Please feel free now to answer me all your to pose all your questions, and I'm more than happy to help you guys, because after that, it's not possible anymore. You can hit me up with a message. You can book a private individual consultation. I will put down the links below this video for you to get that. And you can also find information already under the other videos. So there are links, there are my contact details. So just look a little bit, and after the video, I will put it also down below this video. And then you can hit me up with a message. We can discuss your individual situation. We can think about whether it makes sense for you to come to Serbia. And then after that, we can also discuss the pathway you want to take to Germany or to any other country. So any other questions? Okay, one more question from Rohan. Is transfer available in the next year from where you left in Ukraine? So you mean you want to transfer next year? Why not this year? Why do you want to lose another year? That's my question. If you want to transfer next, probably you mean like next year, right? Like start in October. Yeah, that's possible. That's still possible. Write me and we can make that happen. If you want to start next year, theoretically it's possible, but as you know, in the Balkan countries, it's always better to do things when you should do them, because it always depends. Is there demand? Is there this opportunity? Right now we have that opportunity. I think next year we will have that opportunity as well, but let's not wait one more year and waste one more year to continue your studies. He finished second year. Can he go to third year? Well, yeah, if you successfully passed all your exams, we can make that happen. Contact me and we will discuss it, and you will send me your transcripts. I will discuss it with my Serbian partner, with the university, and then we'll get your feedback, whether that's possible. But if you completely pass all your exams in the second year and you receive your transcript of records, that's not a problem. If you don't receive it or you're about to receive it, then we can solve that problem individually, and we will discuss it with the university individually, and they have some respect for you guys and sympathy, just like me. I know that your situation is more than it's tragedy, but as I said, there are opportunities, there are solutions, and we can make that happen. Just contact me and we'll figure that out. I think for you guys, it's important for your life to continue and not to wait, because otherwise you will just get depressed. You should continue your career, finish your career. And I've had some students that even said, medicine is not even my dream, but even then I would strongly urge you to finish what you started and then move on. Like, you don't need to be a doctor if you don't want to be, but if you're stranded in Ukraine and you don't have any daily routines and no plan in life, that's also very bad. And I would suggest you finish what you started, complete it for your self-respect, and tell yourself, hey, I started this journey, I'm going to end it. And no matter what, no matter if there's war in that country, no matter what happens, I will finish my journey, and then I move on. And then I can rethink my life and restructure it. And then I'm a doctor, which is also a great benefit. So for those few of you that it's not even your real passion, I would strongly advise you just finish it. Any more questions? Otherwise, I would disable now the live stream, and we will see you in the next video, or when you write me on WhatsApp, we can discuss further things. Okay, no further questions. If you have, feel free. I don't bite. And otherwise, see you on WhatsApp or in an individual Zoom consultation or in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.